sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow.
You must trust me.
I tried to keep you away from her and said she was a snake. Now I'm going to tell you why. Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. All day I waited for her to come out. All day she stayed there. When night came, I just sat at the foot of a tree, unafraid of all the night things that had terrified me before, eyes wide open, waiting for her to stick her woolly head out of the cave. There was no sound from her direction, and I waited the whole night. At dawn, I crept forward a foot at a time, hoping I would catch her asleep. Just then I heard some dogs, and new hunters were walking nearby. I ran as fast as I could through the woods until I couldn't hear the dogs anymore. Another day and a night I spent trying to work my way back to the cave and avoid the hunters if they were still about. Finally, I got there, 3 days and 2 nights later. Inside the cave, the dead man was still looking placidly up at me, but the tarpaulin and the gold were gone. Brief, let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Hibon in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigor doth possess and curd, like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine, and a most instant tetter barked about, most lazar-like, with vile and loathsome crust, all my smooth body. Thus was I, sleeping, by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched, cut off in the blossoms of my sin. Macon, get it, and you can have half of it. Go wherever you want. Get it for both of us. Please get it, son. Get the gold. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. Revenge is foul and most unnatural murder. Just listen to what I say. That woman's no good. She's a snake and can charm you like a snake, but still a snake. I, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, O wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce. Told you she was a snake. You've seen her. What'd she look like to you? Somebody nice? Somebody normal? She's a snake, I told you. Ever hear the story about the snake? The man who saw a little baby snake on the ground? Well, the man saw this baby snake bleeding and hurt, lying there in the dirt, and the man felt sorry for it and picked it up and put it in his basket and took it home. And he fed it and took care of it till it was big and strong. Fed it the same thing he ate. Then one day the snake turned on him and bit him, stuck his poisoned tongue right in the man's heart. And while he was laying there dying, he turned to the snake and asked him, "What'd you do that for?" he said. Didn't I take good care of you? Didn't I save your life?" The snake said, "Yes." "Then what'd you do it for? What'd you kill me for?" Know what the snake said? Said, "But you knew I was a snake, didn't you? Now I mean for you to stay out of that wine house and as far away from Pilate as you can." 'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But now, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. Murder most foul is in the best it is, but this most foul is strange and unnatural. I find thee apt, and duller thou should be than that fat weed that roots itself in ease on Lethe wharf. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, hear. Won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. O Hamlet, what a falling off was there, from me whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand even with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue as it never will be moved, through lewdness court it in a shape of heaven, so lust, though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Unhoused, disappointed, unannaled. No reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. O horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against my mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu, 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 remember me. Revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could tell a tale unfold, whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood. Make thy two eyes, like stars, start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks depart, and each particular hair to stand on end, like quills upon the fearful porpentine. But this eternal blaze must not be, to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, O list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love.